All right, hello again, boys and girls. Welcome to week 2 of Muscular Strength and Endurance. If you don't remember, my name is Miss Winan.
And I'm Mr. Romer, and we're going to be teaching you guys some lower body exercises today. All right.
Where's the percent?
Just getting started up here for you. Okay, so that's the title page, Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, Healthy Kids. Obviously, we want you guys to be healthy and strive for greatness. You guys already know that. So what we're going to need today is same as last time. If you guys have a yoga mat, that's great. If not, if you just have like a soft carpet or soft area to work out in, that's great. Make sure you have great self space, hands out front, hands side to side. If not, you can also use a towel if you want. That's also good. And then if you have them, some free weights, maybe a textbook. If your parents have some free weights laying around, maybe take a couple pounds of those. Maybe even like a backpack with some textbooks, but we'll get into that later. So class review. So we're just gonna, we already pretty much did the greeting and attendance. Obviously, you already know our names. So first we're gonna do the instant activity. We'll show you guys that real quick. We're gonna go over what we're learning today, our activity focus, and then we're just gonna have the review and closure for the day.
All right, so for our instant activity, we are going to be working on flexibility. So flexibility is a term that we did not have last class, but it is a part of the 5 fitness components. So what is flexibility? This can be defined as a range of movement available at a joint. Why work on your flexibility? It helps you improve your physical fitness, and flexibility will help you improve your posture, reduce the risk of injury, maintain a healthy spine, and reduce the risk of your back problems. So for our instant activity here, I'm gonna move my camera down over here, and we're gonna get into our flexibility. So as you can see, I have my yoga mat set up right here, and we're gonna go through these stretches. We're gonna do each stretch for 10 seconds, and then we're gonna take a rest period. So remember, get yourself space ready, and we're gonna start with the sit and reach. So for the sit and reach, you're gonna put your feet right in front of you, your toes pointed up. You're gonna take your hands one over the other, and you're gonna pull forward to your feet. So we're gonna count that for 10 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And remember, if you can't get all the way to your feet, grab your ankles, grab your knees, however far you can go, but you want to keep your legs straight for that. All right, while we're on the ground here, we're going to do our butterflies. So you're going to put both of your feet together. You're not going to bounce them. You're going to hold your ankles. You're going to push your knees down to the ground as far as you can. And you're going to want to lean over top of it. And we're going to count to 10 again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come back up. All right. And again, while we're still on the ground, we're going to do our straddle stretch. So you're going to get in a straddle position. Put your legs out in front of you. You're going to be leaning forward into this one for 10 seconds. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You should feel that one in your hamstrings there. All right, we're going to stand back up here. And let me make sure you guys can see. All right, we're going to do a toe touch. So you're going to stand with your feet together, and you're going to lean down and touch your toes, and we're going to go for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And remember, just like the sit and reach, if you cannot reach your toes, that's all right. You can stop at your knees, stop at your ankles, wherever your body is telling you you can go. All right, we're going to do some lunges now. So these are important to remember this form for right now because we'll be using it later. So both of your feet pointing the same way. Bend your front knee, make sure it doesn't go over your toe, and just lean into it. You should feel it in your calf muscle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake it out. And you're gonna switch your feet because we don't just stretch one calf. Again, make sure your toes are pointing the same way. Lean into it, your knee going forward, but your knee is never passing your front toe. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now we're going to get into the hamstring stretch. All right. For this one, you're going to bring your leg up and you're going to hug your knee to your chest. So your knee should be coming right up here. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake that one out. Switch your leg. Bring the opposite knee to your chest. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now we're going to be working on our quads. So your quads are your muscles right here. What you're going to do for this one is you're going to bring your back foot up and you're going to hold. If you have trouble balancing, it helps if you put your finger in your belly button like this or out to the side. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Shake that one out. Pick up your other foot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake it out. All right, for our last one here, we're gonna do some arm rotations. So like Mr. Ramos said in the beginning, make sure you have enough space to be able to do this because we're making big ones. So we're gonna go forward, nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake that out. We're going to go backwards this time. Arms out again. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good job, guys. That was our warm-up. We were working on the fitness component of flexibility.
Yeah, good job, guys. Some of those aren't easy, but good to get warmed up before you start participating in physical activity, obviously, so you don't pull anything. All right.
Here we go.
All right, I got it. All right, so as I mentioned before, so what we're going to be learning today, so we're actually going to do in standard 3. It's going to be health enhancing level of physical activity and fitness. So we will be demonstrating appropriate technique or resistant training machines and with free weights. So obviously we'll get into that later as well. Identify types of strength exercises and stretching exercises for personal fitness development. So we kind of went over a couple good stretches there, but we'll go over a couple more for some good weight gain. And then analyzes, according to the benefits, social support network, and participation requirements, and activities that can be pursued in the local environment, which is also in standard 3. So as we did before, we got some vocabulary. So flexibility, we already went over this, but the ability of joints to move throughout their full range of motion. So, when you're doing your arm circles, your shoulders are obviously the ones moving at the joint, bending your elbow, also flexing. Anything to do with stretches, obviously. Core lifts, the 5 ground-based lifts most commonly used, went over this before. Bench press, weightlifting bench press. Parallel squat, which we'll go over as well, which is, bending down, making sure you're not squatting. Power cleans, which is also great for weightlifting, and then incline bench and front squat, which is more for upper chest and upper thighs of your legs. Endurance is the stamina or the ability to keep going for long periods, includes cardiovascular, respiratory, heart breathing endurance, and muscular endurance. So that's basically the same as before, being able to going for long periods of time of working out and not tiring yourself out, very important. And then the FRINT principle, which is the frequency, intensity, time, and type. This is for any workout, how many sets are you gonna do? How much weight are you doing? Is it a lot of weight, is it a little weight? Are you spending a lot of time on it? Is this a 10-minute exercise or is this an hour work exercise? And then the type, what type are you lifting? Are you going all the way down? Maybe you're doing a little sheet where you're just trying to work on your tries instead of, the whole chest. So all depends on what exercise you're doing. Form is so important. I always preach form because that's the placement of body parts during exercise. Because you can be lifting and have terrible form and never see any results. So usually the key is backtrack, make sure your form's good, and then those results will start coming in. Muscular endurance, that's the power of a muscle to keep working, the max number of reps one can push, pull, or carry. So that's pretty much the same thing, how long can your muscles last while working out? How many push-ups can you do? How many times can you lift the bar, the 45-pound bar, bench press, all that stuff. And then the muscular strength is the ability of muscles to work, the max amount of weight one can lift, push, pull, or carry at one time. So that's going to be the same thing, like how much can you squat at one time? We're not trying to go anything like 10 reps or anything. This is just 1 rep. How many can you squat? And yeah, basically like that. So we'll get into that.
Oops.
You're all good.
Sorry guys, this is being a little fun today. All right. So we're gonna get into our health activity for this week, and our health spotlight is about healthy sleeping habits. So I'm gonna start this video about that. Hello, boys and girls. So for this week's health enhancing activity, we're going to be talking about sleep. So
Sorry. Can you hear it on your end? Oh, 1 second. I think you're muted, Jenna.
probably.
There we go. Okay, now try it maybe.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
I have to share my audio too. How do I do that?
Should automatically do it. Keep trying. Maybe at like the bottom or something. I'm trying to think.
All right.
Just 1 second, guys.
Oh, there it is. All right. Sorry about that, boys and girls. Let's start that again. All righty. Oops. There it is. Hello, boys and girls.
Ow.
So for this week's health enhancing activity, we're going to be talking about sleep. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're talking about healthy sleep habits this week. And I know as teenagers and preteens, it can be really hard to get the right amount of sleep. I know I struggled with it and I still struggle with it. So let's go over some stuff so we can learn how to better our sleep. So first off, you need to set a consistent sleep schedule. So that means going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. Granted, this doesn't always happen, but one thing's for sure, it's important to try. Another thing is creating regular bedtime rituals. That's doing the same thing every night before bedtime, like a warm bath, read or listen to music. I like to drink a nice glass of tea before bed. That usually calms me down. Whatever it is, it should keep your body relaxed so it knows it's actually time for you to go to sleep. Another thing, you should get regular exercise. What a great tip when we're doing muscular strength and endurance. Make sure you exercise at least 2 hours before bedtime, or it may be difficult to fall asleep. So that means you can go on a nice walk with your parents or your family after dinner, and that would even help. Also, keep a healthy diet. Last week, Mr. Romer talked about our nutrition. Meals just before bedtime is not a good idea. That's going to give your stomach too much to do when your body's trying to relax. But a small snack, like a little healthy snack right before bedtime, that can help you sleep. Limit caffeine. That means limit your sodas, if you're a tea drinker, some teas have a lot of caffeine, and coffee. Caffeine is actually a stimulant, so that means that it will be keeping you up And if you drink too much of it too often, you can experience withdrawal symptoms, which would give you restless sleep, and nobody wants that. If you're gonna nap, I know I love a good nap every now and then, but keep your naps short. Like it says here, sleep debt. During the day, you build up a sleep debt, which is the time that you're awake in between what time you're going to go to sleep again. That helps you fall asleep at night. Naps will pay off the debt, and you won't be able to sleep so much at night. So if you need a nap, keep it less than 30 minutes. And use your bedroom for sleep only. I'm here in my bedroom today because I thought it fit the sleep theme. So that means don't eat or watch TV in bed. Don't use your electronics, laptops, cell phones, anything. Make sure your bedroom's dark, quiet, and cool. The cooler your bedroom is, the more quality sleep you actually have. So you want to do all this to make sure that you're associating your bedroom with sleep only. All right. And so how many hours do you need to sleep? If you have younger siblings, they'll probably be in between the 14 to 17 to 10 to 13, somewhere in there, or maybe even 9 to 11 here. For you guys, we're talking more of the between 9 to 11 and possibly 7 to 9 once you graduate high school, which is where I am at. I'm the 7 to 9 age. You guys are probably, you need to get 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 hours of sleep a night. Why sleep matters. Sleep can have so many great benefits for you guys. Helps you pay attention, helps you have a healthy weight, you make good choices, you remember more, you do better in activities, you feel better about yourself overall. After you have like about 1 to 2 nights of less sleep, there's more room for you guys to be zoning out, making poor choices, you forget more of what you learned, you have trouble and stuff, and you tend to be a lot more moody. And if you're sleep deprived, you can be more having feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and anxiousness. There's possibility that you can become overweight. You'd be making more risky choices because you don't have the sleep to back up to help your mind think straight. And there's more of a risk to get into the use of cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs, and that is what we want to avoid. So tonight, I have a challenge for you guys to prioritize your sleep, make up a sleep routine, and try to get your recommended hours of sleep. And just so you remember, your hours would be 9 to 11 if you're 6 to 13 years old, or 8 to 10 if you are 14 to 17 years old. So prioritize your sleep, guys, and have a great day. All right.
Yep, so now you guys know the importance of dieting and sleep. Two very important things that go into any health and physical education.
All right, guys, so now we're going to be getting into our activity here. So again, make sure you have the adequate space that you need, and we're going to get started. Okay, so our first activity is going to be body weight squats. So your cues for this, your feet should always be a shoulder length apart. Your feet should be parallel and facing the same way. Your knees should come down to 90-degree angles, and your knees should never pass your feet. So we're going to do this for 1 minute. Oops. If our timer is going to work. That's okay, I need this time in this. All right, so just like Mr. Romer is doing.
And make sure you guys have a clear space too, inside, front and back. And as you guys can see in the little Giphy there, how I'm doing it. I probably could have done a little bit, my knees are just below the toes, so it's actually looking pretty good, pretty perfect. As Miss Winnan said before, make sure your knees aren't going past your toes, but we'll get started.
All right, so I'm starting my timer now. Here we go, we're gonna go for 1 minute. All right, hold your hands, make sure your feet are shoulder length apart. And we're squatting.
All right. Did you start the timer?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just follow.
Just remember, guys, you want to really focus on your form. Remember those cues. Don't let your knees pass over your toes. Keep your feet a shoulder length apart.
Should be feeling it in your quads. A little bit in your calves with your knees. And remember, it's not a race, guys. It's all about form.
We got about 20 more seconds. Keep going, guys. Sometimes our technology doesn't work, so we have to make adaptations, and that's what we're doing now. All right, we got 10 more seconds. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, guys. All right, we're going to move from this one on to our next one.
Okay. All right, let me talk about this one. All right, so now we're going to do some weighted lunges. So if you guys have some weights with you, like I said before, that's great. Your parents, I think Miss Winland does. I currently don't, but what I did personally is even if you have textbooks or something heavy, you can hold it in 2 hands. But even if you want to put like your backpack, put a couple of textbooks in there and put it on your back. That can also help too. That'll help add some weight and get more muscle growth out of it. So just go over it. Some of the cues, weights if you have them. Step forward with 1 leg at a time, which will show you. Making sure you're bending at the knee, getting that good stretch in. And then step back up, straight up, and then you're going to switch and do it all over again. All right, so I'll show you guys real quick. It's not switching over. Oh, gotcha. You're good.
There you go.
So you can see in the Giphy as well how I'm doing it. I go right first, then left, all the way down. Just try to avoid your knees touching the ground, but if they do, that's okay. Just making sure you're getting the right form is all that really matters, that you're getting the right stretching. All right, so I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, everybody stand up again. Make sure you have your adequate space. We're going to start the timer. So remember, you start from straight up, and we bend down. Go back up, switch your leg.
Yep. Back up straight, bend down. Get your knees close to the floor as possible. Make sure you're getting that stretch in. Hold it if you can as well. If you have weights, it's going to be a little bit harder, but you're definitely going to feel it a lot more. Remember, we're doing only all lower body today, so we're all going to be hitting legs, your glutes, your calves, all that important stuff.
Remember, you're going to focus on your form too.
Yes, 100%. Form is so important, guys. Always preach form.
Good job. Doing a time check. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, guys. That one's a little harder because it added weight, but that's working on our muscular strength as well as our endurance right there.
And for future reference, you don't always have to be in the same spot for your lunges. You can. If you have like a walkway, you can always walk the lunges down. I know some people do that. They'll put weights on their back and walk it down. But if you just have a small space in your room or something, I would just recommend just doing it in one spot. Doing it that way.
All right, our next activity is going to be a wall sit. So you're going to be needing a wall for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to be kind of far away on this one. I'll try to figure it out.
So our cues for the wall sit. You're going to have your back flat against the wall. Your knees are going to be bent. Your feet are going to be parallel just like they were for doing our squats and our lunges. And your feet should be a shoulder length apart just like they were for our squats as well. So just like this picture here, you want to keep your head facing forward, your knees at 90 degrees if you can. You do not need to have your knees at 90 degrees just yet. Make sure your feet are shoulder length apart, put your weight on your heels, and you want to keep your core engaged because that's what's going to help you do it. All right, so let's go over here. We can see Mr. Romer doing it here.
Yeah, I probably could have gone a little bit lower. I'm going to challenge you guys to see how low you can go and how long you can hold it, but we're just going to do a minute to the best of your ability for right now.
All right, this one's going to burn your quads. That's why we're stretching our quads, working on our flexibility. All right, so I'm starting the timer now, and you're going to roll down your wall and hold your 90 degrees in your legs.
Yeah, you're definitely going to feel the burn on this one.
Mm-hmm. You can hold your hands up here. You can hold your hands against the wall like it was in the picture, or you can hold them out in front of you. Remember, if this is too hard for you, you can lean up the wall a little bit. Make sure you're putting all the weight on your heels though. You can also, if you have it, get a ball, put the ball behind your back, and you can roll down with the ball.
Yeah, and try to avoid touching your legs too if you can. Sure, they're out in front. Try not to cheat. See, I keep cheating. There we go again. But you'll get the gist of it.
Good job, guys. We have about 10 seconds left here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, roll back up the wall. Shake that out. That was a hard one.
Not easy. Definitely feel the burn across on that one.
All right, guys. So for this lesson, it is made to be done in a circuit, which means that you're supposed to go through each of them more than once. So, Mr. Romer, how are we looking on time?
So we're at 26 minutes right now.
All right, so we can just go back over all of ours real quick to remind us that we are going to be working on our form and remembering our cues. So with our body weight squats, remember your feet should be a shoulder length apart, they should be parallel, knees 90 degrees, and your knees should never pass your feet. Here's an example of Mr. Romer doing that again.
Yep, making sure you're putting your butt out, butt back. As I said before, feet parallel, shoulder width apart. Hands out in front. Any preference? My preference is, for some reason, I just like to hold my hands out just because I feel like it's most comfortable and I can get my best range of motion. But when, like this one had said before, if you just want to hold them out in front of you, maybe even to the side, maybe if you want to hold a weight like a kettlebell or like a medicine ball, that works too. Yep, and then the lunges, as we said before, weights if you have them, dumbbells preferably. If not, maybe you can hold some kettlebells, textbooks, put something heavy on your shoulder like a backpack with textbooks. Step forward with one leg at a time. So as I said before, you can do it standing still, or you can do it like in a fluent whole line, just more of a preference. But for right now, we're just gonna do it standing in a still position. And then bend your knee, step back straight up and switch legs like we showed you before, making sure you're getting the quad stretches in, as you can see there.
Yep, and then what we just did, our wall sits. Remember to keep your back flat against the wall, your knees bent, your feet parallel, and your feet shoulder length apart. Remember, you can take it down as far as you can, like a full 90, but if you can't do the full 90, that's all right as well. And again, there's the example of Mr. Romer doing it for us.
Yep, and as before, you can hold a weight there too. Some people will put like a weight plate on their legs. You guys might be too young for that, but maybe you could hold like a medicine ball or like a textbook, just add a little bit more weight. And then we only did a minute. You can do longer. I'll challenge you guys to see if you can do longer, how long you can hold it. But it's a really great quad exercise and great for muscular endurance and even muscular strength. So definitely recommend.
All right, guys. So for the assessment, just like last week, we're going to have you guys do another flip grid. You can use your phone on your camera. All you have to do is hold it up to that barcode and it will bring you to it, or you can use this code, right, whoops, this code that's right here. And the questions that we're asking you for today on the flip grid are to show us your form. So we want to see you guys doing each activity. We want to see your squat form, we want to see your lunge form, and we want to see your wall sit form. Remember, we really stressed how form is very important today. And then we want to know, how can muscular strength and endurance improve our overall health? Remember, there was something in the health lesson that we talked about that had to do with exercising and improving our overall health. So remember to do that. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys through that.
And then, yep, just for next class, kind of over at the beginning, yoga mat if you have it. If not, don't worry about it. Make sure you're on a soft surface, plenty of space, maybe like a bedroom or something. A towel if you want to use it, that can always work too. Whatever just makes you comfortable and safest environment. And then as before, free weights if you have them, you know, maybe your parents have them or a sibling has some weights laying around you could borrow, or you could just use like some heavy objects like a textbook or whatever you guys got laying out. But if not, don't worry about it. You can just use it.
Whenever we say free weights, you can use heavy textbooks. You can get bags, fill them with something heavy. Like Mr. Romer used this backpack.
Yeah.
Backpacks are great because they're always heavy with books.
Exactly.
All right, guys. And then if you want more information about the Salisbury Homeschool PE program, you can visit this link here or use this barcode again. And that's about all we have for you guys.
We're all good. Yep.
All right.
All
So
right.
see you guys next week.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.